The Nirbhaya rape case, the Supreme Court has rejected the convict's plea. Pawan Gupta's curative plea has been rejected by the Supreme Court, which means that all the rapists will be hanged tomorrow in Tihar jail. So it will still go on as scheduled. The execution has been planned for tomorrow and it will go on as scheduled. So all the rapists will be hanged tomorrow in Tihar jail as per schedule. The Supreme Court has dismissed Pawan Gupta's curative petition. Well, Sanket M. Yanagi joins us over the phone line. Mr. Yanagi, if you can tell us if there's anything else that can stop the execution tomorrow?
Yes, the review petition has already been dismissed by the Supreme Court in respect of Pawan Kumar Gupta and also in respect of others. The curative was pending insofar as Pawan Kumar Gupta, and now that has also been dismissed. The Supreme Court has clearly stated that this is not a case wherein they can exercise a special jurisdiction, extraordinary jurisdiction, and having already considered the matters on merits and found that they are guilty beyond reasonable doubt and the guilt having been proved by the prosecution beyond reasonable doubt, there is nothing remaining for the Supreme Court or for any other court in India to further consider in the matter. And this is one aspect, and then second aspect is that there is sufficient delay caused by the accused in protracting the proceedings in one way or the other, which has been taken note of by the Supreme Court. And this being another delay tactic, though in the form of seeking justice or to make out the point of a justice, to claim justice, but the Supreme Court, having expressed the displeasure over the conduct of the accused in protracting the proceedings, has found that the conduct is not appreciable and thereby rejected the curative petition, giving a full stop to all the legal remedies available now.
Okay, so the execution is going to take place tomorrow as scheduled?
Yes, it is going to be proceeded with as scheduled, and there will not be any legal hindrance.
Okay.
And there will not be any legal interference by any of the court.
Okay, so any last minute appeals, because one of the arguments that had been made was that the lawyer had colluded with the government for their execution, and the parents of the convicts had also approached the president asking for mercy. So none of that is going to come in the way of the execution tomorrow then?
Yes, nothing will come in the way because the Supreme Court has already expressed in the other matter also, which is scheduled on 23rd of this month. If hanging is not taking place on 20th, that is on tomorrow as scheduled. The purpose of that petition itself is to see that the judgment which has already been passed by the Supreme Court and affirmed by highest court of the country should be executed without any hindrance. If so, it is amounting to interference in the execution of the order of the Supreme Court. In other way, it's a contempt.
Okay.
So the Supreme Court, having taken this point very seriously, and the courts or the other courts are also being conscious of the fact that the Supreme Court has taken this issue very seriously. In the interest of the justice, it is required to be executed since all the legal remedies are over, and the judgment of the court is to be implemented at any cost.
Okay. Okay, all right. Many thanks, Mr. Sanket Yanagi, for joining us. So the execution is going to take place tomorrow, irrespective of any pleas that are filed by the convicts in the case. They've tried everything in the book. They have exhausted all their legal remedies as well. Each of the convicts filing their petitions one after the other. But now the execution is all set to take place tomorrow. No petition that is filed can stop the execution. The lawyer saying that it is unlikely that even if a last-minute petition is filed in the Supreme Court or before the President, it is going to bring in any kind of delay in the execution. It has been scheduled for tomorrow, but since the beginning of this year, it had been scheduled initially on January 22nd, after which it continued to be pushed. but it will not be pushed any further. The lawyer saying that all the legal ambits have been looked at, all the loopholes have been looked at. Now the convicts don't have any other options at all. But time and again, the lawyer of the convicts has been claiming that he still has a few other legal options and he will continue to look at them. But a few hours to go for the execution to take place. It's scheduled to take place tomorrow, and there's unlikely to be any further delay. So that's the big news coming in. The Supreme Court has rejected the plea of one of the rapists. This means that all the pleas, all the legal options that the convicts have now been exhausted.